My time with our mom goes back a long, long way, and my earliest memories with her is when my younger brother was brought home as an infant. I don't know that Jack remembers that, but I certainly do. I was told by my mom and dad that, because I was kind of by myself, and my dad was going to school at University of Detroit in off of McNichols there, and we were living very close to that. And I had expressed the fact that I had nobody to play with my mom, and so I was bothering my mother constantly, and she would tell me, well, when your brother or sister comes along, then you will have someone to play with. And I said, oh, that's great, and I was kind of hopeful, and my disappointment is that all they brought home was this screaming little thing, And so my dad, as you all know, was a polio patient, and this is not too far behind of this time period. He had polio in like 1952, I believe, and he was still using crutches at the time. And I used to ask my dad, why do you use those things? And he said, well, it helps me walk. So I guess I put two and two together, and I said, why don't you get Jack some crutches so he can play with me? Anyways, my mom always shared that memory with me, and it was a good source of laughter between us. There's a lot of things that I could go over, and my memories of my mom are too numerous to remember all of them. And I'd love to share this with everybody, but it's not possible in the time we had. I'll try to give you the best that I can, just so we can, absorb that in the time that we got. I remember when I was in kindergarten at St. Martha's in Louisville, Kentucky, and we were graduating, kindergarten class was graduating at the end of the school year, and to dress us appropriately for that, I wore one of my dad's work shirts backwards, so that was my graduating gown, and we were all supplied with a cap. And the day before the ceremony, I was playing down the street with a group of kids, and I fell off the swing set and banged my head on it and opened up a gash above my eye. And of course my mom was very attentive and took me down to the ER to clean me up and put a couple of stitches in it. And I was cleaned and bandaged, and I stood the graduation though the next day, and I had my cap and gown and a bandaged eye and a proud and smiling mom next to me. So, my mother was always stood in when things got kind of tough. I remember as a youngster, like in 8th grade or so, I had a Detroit Free Press route, which entailed getting up in the morning about between 3:30 and 4 and delivering my papers. Well, it was wintertime, and unfortunately I was running a 100-degree fever. I had flu and fever, and I was pretty miserable. So she and my dad got up with me to help me do the route, and we got there to pick up the papers at 6 Mile, right next to Stevenson High School there. My dad parked too close to the ditch, and we couldn't get out of the car because we were slanted to the right so heavily. So that was a good start to our morning paper route there. And he wasn't really thrilled with that position, but we got out of it, and all the three of us finished our route, and my customers got their papers that day because of their help. Whenever I had problems with school or relationships or general sadness, she was always willing and able to spend the time to make me feel better. And she had always seemed to recognize it when I was having these issues. So I've always cherished her memory for that. My mom was very proud and really dearly loved her grandkids, and they certainly, in the first year, in 1 year, they went from 0 to 4 grandkids, like in a heartbeat, and that was kind of a big thing, and with her, but they were always proud of their accomplishments. And as Mom starts on this next phase, she will always continue to be proud and always be in their corner to look after them. And I wrote an obituary for Mom So I did want to reiterate all this. I think everybody's pretty much read it because people have told me about it. But that's really where a lot of the things that I remember my mom mostly about was, that was indicative of her personality and her care. And she was always there for her friends and family. She, her hospitality. I mean, there wasn't anybody, and I have to reiterate that. We had. When Mom worked at St. John's Seminary, there were some very young priests that came to dinner every Saturday night, and one was named Dave Burzmeyer, and another one named Mike Kukar, and another one named Tom Belzak. And you met Tom yesterday, and these young men were always happy to show up at the house and get some hospitality, take a break from their studies, and get a home-cooked meal. And I think that was very meaningful to them, and that friendship continues today after all these years, and we're always happy to see they became family friends throughout this time period. My mom and dad had a wonderful relationship. They had a marriage that was ideal, and it was almost impossible. It was an almost impossible act to follow, and it wasn't an act, it was for real. They went through their marriage, their relationship together. They had nothing, but very little when they started off with. They just had each other pretty much. And of course then they had me, which I don't know if that helped or not at the beginning. But I was suddenly there, and my dad worked, probably 40, 50 hours a week, and was carrying credit hours at U of D, and so he had his hands full, and so it was basically he and me and our mom. So it was a big load they had to carry, and their love and respect and admiration for each other is what carried them through. They didn't have anything else, and it was great to see them go on their trips, and it was great to see them when my dad decided to take up sailing on his little boat that he named the Ellen Rose, that they kind of learned sailing together, which could be a nail biter, at times, but they did it, and they seemed to enjoy that, And it's all these little things that you add up over time that become a big thing, and the little things summed up a wonderful lifetime together. It's always the little things that add up. It's never one big thing, and they had a lot of those little great things that they could be together for. They would golf together. They would sail on the Ellen Rose, and they were married for 46 years before Dad passed away. And that's a long time. All of us wish that Dad had lasted longer, but that wasn't going to be in the cards. And when Dad passed away, that was very, very tough on Mom. More hard than I think a lot of people realized. I saw it up close, and I saw a lot of the suffering that she went through. She missed Dad every single day after he was gone, and it took a toll on her. But she fought those things with great bravery, and tried to make the best of the years that she was without Dad. She went to places like China and Morocco and all over Europe, and parts of Peru, to Machu Picchu and everything like that. And her outlook, was very inspiring to everybody. And she really, she had worked so hard with Dad when he was a young man going to school, versus now this time when she was a young wife trying to get through widowhood, that she took that with the same level of commitment and bravery, and she made the best of those that time. Those are some of the best points I can bring out about our mom. We miss her like crazy. All of us this week has been devastating for us, and we're really glad that we can come together as a family and try to share our burden with each other. This week has been, we really felt that she was going to rally back on Monday, and everybody was feeling pretty up and ecstatic over it. And, you know, I think just the general relief of how her prior days went. And then the next day she was gone. So this was something that we're going to have to work on adjusting ourselves, and we're going to have to take some of that bravery that Mom shared when Dad passed away and apply it to our own life. And this is not as good a world as it was because she's not in it anymore. And that makes us all, I'm very aware of that. I know we all are. But again, this is a world we have to live in, and we're going to have to adjust to it because she's not with us anymore. But we miss you, Mom. We love you. And we'll see you again someday.